NVIDIA reports Q1 earnings tomorrow, the single biggest catalyst of the entire AI cycle this quarter, plus a $1 trillion valuation race and a record CapEx wave. Let's get into it. NVIDIA reports fiscal Q1 results after the close tomorrow, May 20th. Consensus sits at roughly $1.76 in earnings per share on about $78.75 billion in revenue, 79% annual growth, with data center alone projected near $72.85 billion, up from $39 billion a year ago. This is the print the entire AI complex trades on. Meta's raised CapEx and flagged component shortages flow straight into NVIDIA's order book. The bear case is real. China is now effectively a $0 market for NVIDIA, per Jensen Huang, erasing a once material tailwind, and any miss on data center growth or Blackwell ramp commentary ripples across every AI name. The forward signal: if data center prints above $72.85 billion, with second quarter guidance toward the 86% growth analysts expect, watch for the historical summer rally. Below that, the China gap thesis takes over the tape. OpenAI shipped GPT 5.5, its most capable model yet. State-of-the-art on agentic coding and computer use, 82.7% on Terminal Bench 2.0, 78.7% on OSWorld-Verified, served on NVIDIA's GB200 NVL72. It's backed by a staggering $122 billion raise at an $852 billion valuation, anchored by Amazon, NVIDIA, SoftBank, and Microsoft, and the Microsoft relationship has been reset to non-exclusive with an IP license through 2032, OpenAI buying strategic independence. The bear case: $852 billion is priced for flawless execution, and much of that capital flows right back out as GPU and compute commitments. Circular financing more than free capital. The forward signal: GPT 5.5 cleared a 32-step cyber attack evaluation just 3 weeks after Anthropic's Claude Mythos. That model leapfrog race sets up our next story directly: the valuation contest at the very top. Anthropic is in talks to raise $30 to $50 billion at a valuation approaching $950 billion, eclipsing the $852 billion mark OpenAI just set. It has already taken $40 billion from Google and $5 billion from Amazon, packaged with roughly $100 billion in AWS commitments, plus multi-$100 billion chip deals with Google and Broadcom. And its Claude Mythos preview beat GPT 5.5 to that 32-step cyber milestone. Why it matters: 2 private labs would be worth roughly $1.8 trillion combined, with no public float. The bear case is the same circular financing critique as OpenAI: cloud provider money tied to cloud spend, valuations set by strategic investors who are also the customers. The forward signal: if this round closes near $950 billion, watch whether NVIDIA's print tomorrow actually justifies the compute these valuations quietly assume. Google, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft will spend a combined $725 billion on AI CapEx in 2026, a 77% jump. Amazon near $200 billion, Microsoft about $190 billion, Meta guiding $125 to $145 billion, roughly $370 million a day on data centers. The clearest evidence it converts: Google Cloud revenue jumped 63% this quarter on cloud and TPU strength. The bear case: free cash flow strain and return on investment questions are mounting, and roughly $700 billion in data center projects assume demand that has to keep compounding. The forward signal connects straight to our lead story. NVIDIA's data center number tomorrow is the direct read on whether this $725 billion is landing as revenue or inflating a bubble. Above consensus validates the cycle. A miss reprices every name in it. Google is set to unveil a new Gemini model at its I/O conference, reportedly an incremental upgrade, roughly in GPT 5.5's class, rather than a leap past Anthropic's newest models. It lands alongside that 63% Google Cloud growth and surging TPU demand. Why it matters. The question is whether Alphabet can keep pace at the frontier, not just in cloud and chips. The bear case is pointed, calling it incremental against GPT 5.5. And Claude Mythos means Google risks being the cloud and silicon story rather than the frontier model story, and that caps its AI premium. The forward signal: watch the I/O benchmarks against Terminal Bench and OSWorld. Matching GPT 5.5 holds Alphabet's narrative intact. Trailing it shifts frontier mindshare decisively toward OpenAI and Anthropic, the same two labs racing toward trillion-dollar valuations. One thread ties it all together: every trillion-dollar valuation, and every dollar of that $725 billion capex wave is a bet that AI demand keeps compounding, and NVIDIA's print tomorrow is the first hard test. We'll have the numbers. Subscribe to the Daily Alpha so you don't miss it.